Now, as I already mentioned, we are interested in this portion of the ligamentum flavum, which lies below the upper lamina and on the edge of the lower lamina, which covers the under surface of the facet and is inside the IAP. Let us see for a moment what it means when we remove this bone and try to address the structure that is the ligamentum flavum. You will be able to see it very well coming here on the medial aspect of the IAP and the facet joint, the blue being sensory and red being motor roots, which are inside the thecal sac and forming this root, which is immobilized here and will continue as a mobile exiting nerve here. As we go further, we will be able to see this better, and here we find that we have this tissue which is below or caudal to the pars up to the lower mid pedicle line. So this is the ligamentum flavum which needs removal. Now here we also need to understand that if we again build up this thing, then this portion, that is the mid pedicle across line, is the lower pole of the facet joint, as well as this is very close to the upper edge of the lower lamina, and here this ligament would be attached, and the lower edge of the lamina is a continuation of the SAP here. So here what we do is, my system, the new system is, I would like to come about 2 levels above and start 4.5 centimeters here and then continue working. So when we continue working here, we will be now showing you what exactly we do. What we do is we start about 2 levels above, so somewhere at this level, and we start about 4.5 centimeters away from the midline, and then we come like this, and we are trying to stay close here to the pedicle. And when we are staying close to the pedicle, what we find is it is more easy to go and enter this area. Now from here we try to come on the pars or the tip of the SAP here, and of course then we continue further below the facet joint. So this is the important thing. We are dorsal to the transverse process, but we go ventral to the facet joint here. So let us see how it looks here. We are much dorsal to the dorsal ganglion. We are going to be landing on we are coming above this transverse process, and we are going to land somewhere here. Now when we land here, it is next to the pars, which is this, and it is on the tip of the SAP here. So when we land here, we know that we are landing below this facet joint, and we are going to go straight ahead till we go on the inside of the facet. Now this is a very important concept, inside of the facet. It is not something which is very easy to understand. Let us say that we will look at it like this. We should be able to see it better now here. So it's like this, and therefore we will again repeat. We are coming from here and we are going to land here, and then from here we are going to go under this joint, and going to go here, medial to the joint. Okay, this is very important. Now if we build up the facet joint, you will find where we are. Okay, that's where we are. We are coming from above, we are outside the pedicle above, we are under the facet, and we are exactly landing on that ligamentum flavum without any doubts left about. Now here let me bring to your attention, we are aiming at this tissue which is lying on the tip of the SAP, inside the SAP, and this ligamentum flavum will be addressed. Now we are just trying to build up the bony and the ligamentous structure to make you aware what that structure is here. And as we have already explained, we are trying to come dorsal to this structure and then land here and work there. Now naturally there would be a question about our ability to land there. which I have explained how we land there. So once again, it could be shown little more schematically that we are starting 2 levels above, starting around 4.5 centimeters away from the midline, and when we are starting here, we are aiming to go on the medial aspect of this facet joint. So we aim at the tip of the SAP, or we aim at the pars interarticularis and situated in this area. So this is 4.5 centimeters away from the midline. This is 2 level above, and we come here. Now if I try to build up again, you will find what happens is this is the way we build up. We are on the pars there, and then we access the ligamentum flavum, which is lying inside. Now I intend to make a very bold statement here that by my access like this, which I can do under local anesthesia, I can easily tackle the ligamentum flavum by going in the upper part of the foramen obliquely down along the ligamentum flavum on the inside of the facet and remove it. So now here again we will see what we are doing, and what we are actually trying to do is aiming at this pars, indirectly aiming at this SAP tip, and then landing on it and go inside here, okay, under the pars or under the IAP. Here we will find that we are able to do that. Here we will see how we do that. We are going to now come down from Kiflat to Caudate as to see the tip of the SAP. Now here we are in the upper zone. We are able to see the exiting nerve which has gone out of the foramen, and now we have just started seeing the tip of the SAP here. This is the IAP, and we will be going inside the foramen here, or inside the canal here. Now I go further and I make another cut, then I find that I am much more clear about it. This is the SAP, IAP. I'm going to be here. This is very safe area because the nerve has already left and we are much away from the thecal sac lateral border. Now let's say I go further, I've reduced the facet, and here you will find this is the ligamentum flavum, which is our target. This ligamentum flavum, which is our target, which we are able to achieve by coming like this and address it. Now we will just try and rotate this structure as to again make us aware of what are our capabilities. So here we see we have the ligament here, and we are trying to build up now. We are trying to build it like this. The IAP is completing the laminar arch. The ligamentum flavum is here, which is lying on the medial aspect of the SAP. Now here I would like to bring to your notice that in case I am operating through the transforaminal usual access and not the new system, then what I do is I lay close to the upper end plate and try to go for the tip of the SAP and try to go around it. So let's see how it happens. Here I am coming, let's say, at the tip of the SAP, and I am going around the SAP, and you will immediately find that the moment I go around, actually what I am doing is I am under the IAP. I have to go further down if at all I want to address the ligamentum flavum. So transforaminally, by the usual system, it is a little difficult to do this. So we need to have the new system, as has been demonstrated in this video by showing you what exactly we do. Now I would like to again come back to our coronal pictures and how we build it up, and then we will show you that how we build it up and how easy it is to land in that area. So this is the area where we need to go. Okay, this is the area. So our axis is sub pars, it is here. Okay, subpar, subarticular, upper foraminal, medial reach, intracanal intervention. So it would be much more clear again as I build it up, and you will find that we are going to be exactly where we want to be. So this is a targeted surgery for lumbar canal stenosis, and this part of my system, which is the new system, can replace the open surgery from posterior midline.